Hello everyone, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a recap slash review of Superman and Lois Season 2, Episode 3, The Thing That Minds. There will be spoilers for the episode, so if you don't want to see spoilers, just go ahead and, come back after you've seen the episode. I will tell you it's a very good episode once again. We immediately get into the mystery of things. The show stars Tyler Hoechlin as Clark Kent slash Superman and Elizabeth Tulloch as Lois Lane. For this episode, the summary is Lois reaches out to retired General Lane, which is also always good to see Sam back in the show. Uh, Clark's visions become worse during heated arguments with both Jonathan and Jordan, which we'll definitely get into. And then also, Lana shares her frustrations with Kyle. So let's start with that piece of the story. So as much as I really enjoy what the character of Lana Lang did last season, I think she was very involved, obviously very involved with Morgan Edge and the whole town. I feel like this story, this mayoral candidate story, is not really grabbing me. I think it's so disconnected from everything that's going on with Superman and his family, and the main focus of the show. I feel like it's a little bit disconnected, so that part's not fully working for me. I don't think it's anybody's fault. I think it's just hopefully, to me, I feel like it's just something that they're setting up to bring it back. So hopefully we'll reconnect in the end, later on with the story that we've set up for the other characters. Because I think that's when the show is at its strongest, when the whole cast and the core, everything's really revolving, even if on different levels, are around the same goal. Um, Now the story with the kids, it's very good. They both kind of messed up in different little ways, and we have Jordan, who wants to maybe tell the secret to his girlfriend. So Clark and him have a conversation that escalates. But due to this whole thing, that the visions and everything that's coming from him, this reverb that he's getting from that thing in the mines, it gets a little escalated, overheated. You can see like some rage maybe piling on, which I think is very well done. Now on the other side, Jonathan, he gets into a fight with this kid, which I think I like to see to the planning for that story, because look, Jonathan's a really cool dude, and I think he's really taking it well that he doesn't have powers while his brother does. But also seeing somebody else succeed as quarterback, which is something that he's very good at, kind of surpass him in that level. That's what's really getting at him. So I think they've set up some really interesting stuff, and I'll go into a little bit later. But I like the story. But he also has an argument because he gets into a fight with one of the kids in the kids in the football team. So Superman as the coach, or Clark Kent as the coach slash his dad, is there, and they also have an argument that leads to another outburst from Clark. So like these things keep escalating. Um, in the meanwhile, we have Lois and Sam working with John Henry Irons to figure out what's in the mind. As I expected, the lady that's working on the mines is revealed to be a villain because obviously she had been set up for that since the beginning. But the really cool thing here is that last week I talked about. I even put it on our thumbnail, a little foreshadowing of what I thought was in the mind, which was probably what most people, 90% of the people probably thought. But this show is all about, like, you know, turning your expectations upside down into what you think you know of the Superman mythos. So I feel like they're really using some of that fan knowledge against us. They even dropped a few hints in the show. Like, they're not being subtle about it at all. So here's the big spoiler. So if you don't want to hear this spoiler, like I said, come back after you've seen the episode. So uh, they've been planting seeds for Doomsday to show up. We know that Doomsday in the comics was interred in the mine on Earth. He wore that suit, that biocontainment suit, and we saw something last week that looked very similar to that. But then this week we find out that's not what it is. When this thing has a confrontation with Superman at the mines, John Henry Aaron shows up to help him out, shoots him with the red flare, and we see that not only do they have no effect on him, but they break off the mask, and we see someone that looks like Tyler Hoechlin, but not exactly, like a little bit of a different version of him. So I feel like we pretty much got a confirmation towards the end that they have set up Bizarro, which was an excellent twist. Like I think it's just as I was watching the episode, I was freaking out because I was like, "Oh, here comes the reveal of Doomsday, and he's coming." I was like, I wonder how what he's gonna look like because he didn't look as menacing and as like bulky as normal, so which should have been the first clue that this wasn't gonna be Doomsday. But yeah, then they break off and you see, the same actor in a different role. And boy, let me tell you, I am super excited to figure out how this bizarro version of Superman is in this world and ended up in that mine. I'm sure it'll have a lot to do with that ex kryptonite that's all over the place. But we'll see. So this episode was great. Like I said, the only other thing they're setting up, I think the kids are doing that. The ex kryptonite is now being kind of made into some kind of drug that Jonathan is now interested in taking. So I'll hopefully that'll activate his powers because I do feel like he's eventually going to get powers. I think it was a nice conflict in season one to have one of the kids develop powers and not the other, but I do eventually want to see both of them. I think Superman's going to need more allies in the future, and I would love to see him fight along with both of his kids, along with Steel and maybe even Nicole, who's John Henry Adams' daughter. She might even get a steel suit or something, some armor, um, and make a full super team to kind of go up against these new government kids that have been trained and are wearing now the Superman sigil, but they're working for the U.S. government. So man, we're only 3 episodes in, and this is already like gearing up to be a fantastic season. But you guys let me know down in the comments. Well, how'd you like this episode? How are you liking the season so far? What do you think of Superman? The introduction of Bizarro, which yeah, it's definitely a bizarre choice to bring him in, but I really, really like it. I really enjoyed the version that showed up in Smallville a long time ago, and obviously all the ones in the comics and the Justice League animated series and stuff. Like he's been around, so very interested to see how this version works out. I love the little detail. He's even wearing a little pendant, like in the comics, where he would wear like his Bizarro #1 pendant. So yeah, very excited. They did a really cool thing at the end too, where um, they reverted the logo of the show, so you can see if it was inverted. So that was really interesting. So the last thing, I hope they fix that Lana Lang story. So, but thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Sundays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Also, remember stay tuned because we have more comic reviews, movie reviews, trailer reactions, and then also TV recaps. So thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.